But at the moment, we are going to focus on a stock that has just gotten listed, and it's a partner which will get listed. My reference is to Majesco. The company demerged two of its two businesses, listed its IT services business now, which is in the old Majesco, and its products perhaps or licensing business which is more insurance faced is going to get listed, and it is that piece, Majesco, which is of greater interest to investors. Farid Kazani, the managing director of the yet to be listed Majesco, is joining us on the phone line. Farid, good morning. Thanks a lot. When is that big day, the listing of Majesco?
Yeah, so having announced the record date for 15 June, we are going to be having the issue of shares in another 4 or 5 days, and then have the listing application made to the exchanges and also getting the SEBI approval for doing that. My guess is it will take between 45 to 60 days before we list the Indian entity in India. So I would hope by the first week of August we should be listed.
Okay. Farid, hi, morning. Can you just explain to the viewers what exactly the business of Majesco will look like in the next 1 year, and what are the investments that you would be making into the company?
Yeah, so if you look at it on a pro forma basis, and the reason why I would say pro forma is because we have acquired two entities. One is the insurance business of Agile Technologies that got integrated in January 2015 within the Majesco US entity. And the second acquisition is the PNC, which is the property casualty business of Coverall Technologies. And Coverall Technologies is a listed company in US on the NYSE. And we are expecting shareholder approval of that by 22nd June. Once we get the shareholder approval, we'll be also integrating the Coverall Technologies entity into Majesco in the US by end of June. And we should be listing the US entity also around that time. On a pro forma basis, if I add Agile and Coverall to the Majesco Insurance Group, we should be approximately $105 million on top line. There is a good amount of investments that we have planned in the next 2 years to take advantage of the market opportunities that we see, which we believe is once in a kind of a phase where insurance companies are looking at transforming their legacy platforms. And since we are very well positioned on the PNC side, we expect the growth on the PNC to be pretty robust. We are also present on the life and annuity, and that also we expect to grow in another year or two. We are making investments also on the life side. So while we will have a starting pro forma revenue of $105 million, we are spending roughly around 12% on our product development expenditure. And after accounting that in the P&L, we are right now at close to around 2% EBITDA levels on a pro forma basis. Hopefully, with looking at opportunities to grow in the next 3 years, we should be looking at a pretty good growth higher than industry, and then looking at getting into double-digit EBITDA in another 3 years' time.
Okay, double-digit EBITDA in 3 years' time.
Yeah.
Okay, from 2% to what, 10%?
Yes, I'm not putting out a number. There's no guidance that we are giving, but our intention is to get to building the revenue, and if we get the revenues that we expect, we should be getting into a double-digit EBITDA level.
Okay, so what kind of revenue growth will be able to give you this kind of margins?
Lata, I'm not guiding.
No, I'm not asking you for a proper number, but I mean, ballpark or a range or anything, because it would have to be a substantial growth in revenues to yield this kind of margins. Or is it that you're going to sell a different kind of product altogether?
No, so if you look at it, Majesco on a standalone, that was around $80 million. With the two acquired entities, we will be at 105 on a pro forma basis. And then we expect, with the customer base of around 150 in our fold, we expect organic business, cross-selling opportunities, and services business that we want to build on the insurance side should give us a good growth momentum. So secondly, the investments that we are making in the business today on product development and on sales marketing should hopefully give us a better than industry growth rate.
Okay. So the India business will be just a holding company, or will there be a revenue in the India business as well for Majesco?
So in the legal structuring, we have the India business in the Majesco India Limited as part of the Indian legal entity.
Okay.
The rest of the global insurance business is housed under the US Majesco group.
Would you buy any more technology companies, and how much cash do you have for it?
We do have a decent cash, but I think if you have to look at any acquisition that fits our strategic need, we will have to look at access to capital, both in terms of debt or equity at a future date. We don't have any planned acquisitions, at least in this year. We need to integrate the current acquisitions that we are making.
All right.
Okay, we'll leave it at that, Farid. Thanks for joining us and explaining that to us. That's the word coming in from the yet-to-be-listed Majesco.